I get out on the water as often as possible, but my other two SeaDoos sit idle most of the time, waiting for operators dumb enough to accompany me. An unused boat is death to lead-acid batteries, and because I have a lot of boats to take care of, I need to keep the maintenance streamlined. A plug-and-play battery maintainer definitely simplifies my life. This is how and what I install on all the boats. First off, you're going to need a drill, a driver, a 2-inch hole saw, your parts. You're going to need a Torx bit and a Phillips bit. I always have a little bin to put my fasteners in. The charger itself is this Noco guy. In the box you get said charger and the cabling and plug in right there. That's pretty much your guy. And the plug in the box you get the AC port plug. Inside the box you get a box, and inside that box you get another box. This here is the AC port plug. I forgot to mention you're also going to need a 10mm wrench. Let me simply lift this guy free. So a tape measure is kind of pointless here. There's really nothing to measure to. I mean, you have points measured at point to point. What does that tell you? Not really anything. 20 inches. When you're doing a 2-inch hole, so maybe 2 inches down, give you an inch of clearance. You can see over on the other boat where I've mounted one, I eyeball it. Nothing scientific about that at all. But if you absolutely need a measurement, where I'm coming is pretty much find the apex of this point, come down. I'd say an inch and 5/8. And that will give us roughly a location that looks like that. Very similar to that one over there. Now I do a dry fit test. Quite beautiful. I approve. I removed the gasket so I don't have that in my way for marking, because I want, there's a little bit of play. They give you that 2-inch recommendation. I might have done an 1 7/8. I find kind of the halfway point of that. just so that my fasteners are not too close to the hole itself. And then I mark it there. As you can see, these screw holes will be pretty much roughly equidistant between if you do it that way. So with this fastener right here, zero that out. If you put your calipers between the threads, right there, you'll find that you're around 0.11 inches. So I've got a drill bit that is 0.11 as well. That way the threads still have something to bite, but the actual meat of that fastener and the hole are the same. So the threads can bite into it, but it's not trying to push the screw through something too big, or too small rather. Never trust a driver. Always finish these things by hand. You want to feel that they're equal, and you want to feel the pressure that you're putting on, because if you overdo it, it doesn't work. If you underdo it, it doesn't work. And we have our, and now that looks good. Like it grew there. The battery charger itself is pretty simple. You have your positive and negative leads that connect to the battery. You have the unit itself, the smart part of the unit. It's actually so smart, it's genius. And then you have the common AC, which will plug into the port we just installed. So I'm not going to show you the actual work, but I'm hooking up the red to the positive. You can see the red around the lead, you can see the positive right there. Pretty hard to mix them up. And I'm going to hook up the negative to there. Once it is installed, it will look like so. Positive to positive, negative to negative. I put the leads that have kind of a big hole underneath the battery terminals, and then after I use a screwdriver to put them on, I use a 10mm socket to make sure they're tight, because these boats, the computer brains can sense a loose battery. Bright colored tape. You'll be able to see that thing, it disappears. It's a dark color, but I like to secure my plug together because I spend a lot of time pounding the waves coming off of wakes or going out in storms. And I like to prevent water ingress from just splashed water that comes up through the bilge when I'm doing these jumps. If you let all the shrink out of the last bit of flag there, it doesn't come unraveled. This is the clamp that comes with the charger itself. As you can see, it comes with fasteners, which I'm not going to use. But it's a Velcro thing, pretty decent. What I do with this guy is I run a zip tie through the holes. Run it through like so, and then I take this around the wire harness like so.
As I said before, I spent a lot of time just absolutely hammering these things pretty brutally. Come up with an 8-foot lake, and come down flat. Well, not everything, so I like leaving loose stuff around. So, I'm firmly zip ties. I'm leaving nothing loose. Nothing loose. No. Side cutters like this, put up these. We're getting really sharp. I'm take this. Last thing I do is loosely conflagrate this guy here. It's right there, so nothing's bouncing around. Engine's still no good. But it just keeps things floating and being able to snot everything. Not doing anything really tight. I just adjust it. That's how I can do it.
I don't much care for that hose the way that's done, so I'll redo that while I'm under here. And that's all there is to it. Put it all back together, and the only thing you need to keep your cheap lead-acid batteries cranking for years is to remember to plug your boat in.